Hi, it's Chris Burnett from Green Dragon Tai Chi and Qigong. In a few moments we're going to start our workshop here on Chin Na, and we're going to do an extensive video. We're going to dedicate that video to one of our brothers, Kevin Gressack, and also Kurt Gressack, who wanted to come and be with us. They were going to drive down about a 5-6 hour drive just to come to the workshop, but unfortunately Kevin was injured, and because this workshop was actually his idea, we'll make sure that we get a nice video that he can actually feel like he's here. So it's for you, brother. See you soon. Talking.
Everybody say your name, how long you been in Tai Chi?
How long you been in Tai Chi, Hal?
When we get out of the workshop.
This is my question. What is Chin Na? Anybody have an answer, clue, idea? I know you have an idea.
Just from your description, it sounds like some form of martial art study where joint locks are a major part of it.
Joint locks, major part. What's your idea of Chin Na?
I was thinking takedowns and disarming.
Interesting. Disarming for sure.
Oh,
Takedowns too, but yeah, we'll get to that.
And controlling.
Controlling. So Chin Na means seizing and controlling. So seize and control. And most people think of it as being joint locks. Forgive my wonderful writing. Joint locks. So joint locks, obviously, Forrest, come over. Put me in an armbar. There you go. Put me in an armbar. So what he's doing is he has pressure going this way and pressure going that way, and it's causing the joint to hyperextend in the wrong direction. So when he's doing this, he can control me, talk to me, he can break it if he wants, whatever. So those would be our joint locks. Anytime the joint is going against its natural movement. So other forms of control are sealing the breath or vein. So these are normally done with strikes. So sealing the breath, Hal, I'm not going to kill you. So Hal punches in, and I connect, and if I can hit violently enough to the muscles surrounding the lungs, they could contract, and it would hinder his breathing. So that's sealing the breath. Sealing the vein, come in, you can try and grab me. So I chopping in here, causing the muscles around the carotid to swell up, stopping the flow of oxygen to the brain. So those are just examples of sealing the breath, sealing the vein. These are more advanced and they're a little more dangerous, so we're not going to deal with these too much. We just want to cover them because the workshop is about Chin Na. Other ones, pressure point. Well, I should do pressure point last because that would be probably, it can go from simple to very advanced. Over there on the board we have a list of certain pressure points that we will probably mention as we go through it. You can take pictures of those. You can also research them. We'll tell you materials that you can look up. And we don't expect you to remember the names of them, just locations sometimes. So when we're doing our joint locks, a lot of times those pressure points can be either exposed or they can be used to help facilitate that joint lock. But another one is dividing the muscle. All right, so Stephen, he punches, Stephen punches in. So right here we have that lat muscle. I can come in here and cause pain this way while I joint lock here, or I can grab the pec in here, different things like that. He can grab this sternocleidomastoid muscle there, right? So all of these things you can control through pain. So if you have a joint lock and you want to just, it depends on the situation what you want to use or do. So all of these fall under the category of Chin Na, seizing and control. So as I was mentioning to Kathy, or was it you? I don't know.
I don't know whoever you're I don't know yet.
Who was I talking to? All right, so this is our silk reeling. We want to start the warm-up with the silk reeling. And get that motor going. So that way, a lot of our techniques are gonna come from that Dantian, circling and Dantian learning. So once again, Stephen comes up. So this is something we do in class, right? Circling and Dantian. So if Stephen punches, one of the things I can do to redirect that is to circle. He punches again, and when I go to do my technique, it has to come from here. So we're rotating and turning from Dantian. These are some things that we want to, when we get into neutralizing, and also when we're doing the techniques, do not resist. We want to follow the energy, okay? Anytime you resist, it facilitates the person locking you up. So if Stephen does a joint lock on me, so if I resist, that's gonna hurt. That's really painful. So I need to just relax and get up. Go ahead and do me an arm bar or something. So one that people are pretty familiar with. So anytime I try and fight that, that's really gonna hurt. So I need to relax. Just follow that energy, let it go, let it dissolve. So I put this on here. Trust and relaxation. You have to trust in yourself and you have to trust in your relaxation. So try not to tense up. Also, when we're doing the, if you don't move your big head up, no, I'm just playing. So, one of the things we want to do is talk about using technique over strength. So, one more time. No, you're doing me. Right. So, notice he uses very little strength. It's right here. And one thing I want to do, I don't want to fight that. I know I just covered it, but if I'm fighting it and we start struggling, that means he's not learning the technique. He's not. Nice joint lock. Let him know by just give like 3 taps on yourself. Tap here. So, because if you're locked and they don't know, they'll probably just keep giving you that pressure.
So you have to say stop it first.
It's just, that you got it. Yeah, you've done the technique correctly. You don't have to let it go all the way to the point where it's really excruciating. But if you know it's going there and it feels like a good technique, just go ahead and tap. One thing we don't want to do is have any injuries, things like that. So we want to take care of it. So Chin Na is not actually a style of Kung Fu. Every form of Kung Fu should have Chin Na in it, though. Chin Na is not style specific. So Tai Chi has Chin Na. Of course, Eagle Claw, very, very popular for Chin Na, things like that. But like, what Tai Chi form do you do?
Yang style.
Yang style. Do you?
Long form.
Yeah. Do you know of any Chin Na in that form, in that style? Rollback, right? Rollback is very.
Yeah, even the arm, that's an arm bar.
Yeah.
When they turn everybody out of it, where they're blue.
Can you show me?
Sure.
Yeah. What arm do you want?
Wait for you
This
to
arm?
ask.
Sure.
Okay.
Alright, so start like this.
Mhm.
So turn your arm over. As you
Turn it which way?
Feel the pressure on the elbow. So turn it over here.
Okay.
So like this.
Mhm.
And you try to pull out this.
Mhm.
And
Right.
you come up to hit me in the face. And
With this hand or
Yeah.
Okay, good. So do the first one again. So this can come out of Tai Chi ball at any given time. And when I turn over this way, so the rollback should more of a pull here, but push more there. Very good. So that's what we want. That's rollback. We'll play a lot with rollbacks today. And so if I wanted to neutralize this, how would I do it? What's that?
Dissolve.
Yeah, just relax, dissolve. Good. And the single whip, can you see your single whip? Go ahead and do it like. Yeah, pretty nice. A little different than ours, but pretty similar. So I'll have Martin come up. So one of the things Martin punches, and what you did was that nice redirection here. This could also be a lock in here as well. And if he had punched the other arm, so I'm doing it backwards, single whip. So you can rotate here, which is also a chin knot, so that's your hook hand. And as I come in here, that can lock in there, right? So that's one of the ways you're formed. You can think of different chin knot that you may find in there. Our chin style, we have our single whip is a lot of circle rotation. So Hal comes up and he punches, and if I connect here, I rotate control here. Yeah. See, I didn't know. Yeah, thank you for tapping. Okay, so go ahead and lock it. So you can see what he's doing here. It's pressure in different directions, this going down, this going up. Good. Horse stance. So here we're talking about the dantian and the quad. The quad being this crease right in here. So when we turn our dantian in a circle, we don't want the knees going back and forth like this. We want to rotate from the stomach. Okay? One of the ways we can show that is placing one hand on the thigh with the fingers forward, one hand on the stomach. So as I'm going to shift my weight to the left leg and turn my stomach, closing this quad. So the bottom hand should not move. The hands should come together. Open, come back, turn. So the weight shifts. Your weight comes over into the left thigh. Open, close. Everybody just keep doing that and walk around. Come in a little bit forward. So feet are out. I know a lot of horse stances are like this, but in chin style, which a lot of my techniques will come from, we want the feet out so that the knees can move in the direction of the toes when we turn so that they stay in alignment. So we're just going to start circling the stomach, then we'll go into that breathing. So we'll start here, hands on the stomach, we're going to turn, coming up, come across, down, turn the stomach. Hands, when the hands come up, come out of the ground slightly. When the hands go down, sink, circle, turn. Good, so the hands represent your insides in this place. Your hands are leading the dantian to turn and circle. When we do, we push our right heel into the ground and it travels through the leg, through the quad, and into the dantian. We get here, we're going to rotate palm forward. We're going to open the leg. Now we're going to push out of the left leg and let it travel out through the fingertips. Then we rotate down, we're opening the left leg, cross, push the heel in, let it travel through. Rotate, palm towards the mirror, cross, down. So Tai Chi classics, they say when one part moves, all parts move. And this is a way to teach getting the energy from the foot through the joints and out through the extremities. So we're getting our kinetic energy from the ground as we push our heel into the ground. The equal opposite reaction travels through the joints. So the stomach should be leading this motion. Relax right here. Good, back up across. And down. Nice. Here. Try not to go higher than your shoulder. Relax the shoulder. Keep the shoulder in the socket. Down. Cross. You're going to add the second hand in. Hand on the bottom. Up. Cross. Rotate. Switch. So all of these techniques will be based on a Tai Chi perspective. Most people here are Tai Chi people. And we want to think about not only coordinating the whole body with the movement, thinking about relaxing, breathing nice and deep. So inhale one direction, exhale the other direction. Relax the joints, elbows sunk, relaxed. Shoulders down. You should feel that the legs are doing the work and the arms are just floating. What's this like? Cloud hands, is that what you said? Yeah, wave hands like cloud. That first one we did, we're coming across here, before it of course punches in, as I connect, come across here. You feel locked?
Yeah, it's getting there, yeah.
Yeah, you can get out of that though, right? Now you're fighting against, if I had two hands, do it now.
Wrong way.
Yeah, there, that's it. Keep going. Then you elbow me, right? The second one, come across. If I come across here, oh, he's so stiff. Come across here and bring, let's see, this one here, or if I come this way, come across that way. If I come this way and the other hand comes down and that one comes up. So as I come across, so even though silk reeling is used for the joints, teaching that whole body connection, all of those will have martial application.
You can see, so my palm is facing that way. I've twisted it that far out.
Basically, your chin down yourself.
Thumb drum.
Cool.
And that thumb is actually the actual.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about that point too.
So we'll talk about this point too. There's a point right here that you can press as you rotate. You can do yourself right there and kind of feel that.
It's like a little hole right there.
Exactly, yeah. So as you do, well, we won't do each other so bad, but just so you know it's there, we'll play with it a little bit.
It's like,
Yeah.
shake.
Was this triple warmer 3?
Yeah, it's close, well, it's
Yeah.
It's like if you push into it and then downwards.
Exactly. That's the direction you want to go. And there are directions to it too. Thank you.
Okay, the next one, you've seen Gooseneck, this is what I was doing with Chris, so going to elbows pointing towards the ground, and then collapse in my hand. Some people are very flexible, their fingertips may actually test your forearm a little bit. Z-lock, I'm gonna grab the back of my hand again, but thumbs on my back, pull my hand in towards myself. Yeah. Twist my fingers to the sky of my hand.
Other way. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Fingers up first.
Okay.
Correct. That way. Yeah. And then you're pulling it towards you. Feel that? Yeah, bend the elbow a little bit.
Yeah, so you want to bend your wrist,
Yeah,
bend your
bend the elbow a little bit. Yeah. Or like you said, a Z.
Yeah, so when somebody has that on you, that's what, if
Mhm.
you're putting that on somebody, you want their elbow bent a little bit, like bending their
Yeah.
wrist.
And all these also build up your tolerance too for joint locks.
Take a little bit to make you believe that you're feeling better.
Exactly.
Do the other hand.
Mad at myself, I know how to.
This one is called waterfall, so I'm going to be pulling my fingertips down as far as back. And as I straighten my arm out, if the elbow's bent, it doesn't give you quite the same stretch. So, okay. The last one is going to be what we call center lock. So this is a little more difficult. I'm going to palm to palm. I'm going to twist my wrist out as far as I can, so that I'm trying to keep my little finger in line with my body here. The Chinese like to call this send the devil to heaven. You know, they have good names for their techniques. And you'll feel just like that.
Between learning and being able to apply technique in a real situation, very large gap. So just because you know a technique and you can do it if somebody's standing still, once they start moving and resisting, it's very hard to get a technique off unless you practice putting yourself in those situations. A lot of techniques can be done from grab or punch. I don't have it on the board. I did want to talk a little bit about that. So every good martial art should have Ti, Da, Na, and Shuai. Just fancy Chinese words for punch, kick. I'm going to put wrestling, but that's our takedowns, and locking. So rock, paper, scissors. The striking used against chin knock. So if he tries to joint lock me, he's joint locking me, I punch him. Get off me. Right? Chin knock used against wrestling. I try and grab him, I want to take him down, right? Then he locks me up against wrestling. And wrestling against striking. Wrestling against striking. So he goes to punch me, he punches in. Wrestling techniques, right? So
Butterfly grip, and just twist him out. It can accentuate pain if I have his wrist bent a little bit. Also helps with, if you're taking somebody, this can be a takedown. I can hit him that way, but if I step back as I twist, taking it down with.
Bigger partner.
So you can take it.
Right, that's not the most effective part. Right. All right.
One of the fingers are coming behind, my thumb is somewhere behind him, supporting that left heel.
Why would somebody grab you? Hey, buddy, why would somebody grab you? Yes, they're about to wail on you, right? Yeah, yeah. Same thing with a wrist grab. If I grab his wrist, I'm probably trying to pull him in or
I would
something.
say this is also,
Could be a push.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's, you
Yeah.
had that, it's, your flinch response should be like, there's a fly buzzing in the room. You hit it, you know,
Yeah.
you do
Yeah.
something, so.
Yeah, you do a
see
push
somebody's
again.
hand coming in.
And you push.
So you know, if you keep your elbows in closer, closer, arms.
Oh.
Yeah, different levers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Let me go.
Keep twisting. So one of the things, the main thing with that, I've said to different people, so if I'm doing this, step it away.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
Did everybody hear what Steven just said about stepping? So actual application, you would want to step away from the other hand.
Yeah, so, Chris, he's still got a weapon there. I got a couple over here. Now, he probably can't touch me. If he does, I'll
No.
drop him.
Yeah. So this is from wrist grab. Same thing can be lapel grab. I grab.
Oh, you want, I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
I'll grab it. So from here,
Always do a distraction.
I'll always hit. The distraction is the actual hit, not just a.
Some people will put the head back from eye strike.
Mhm.
I like kicking. Grab me with the same side hand. Yes. So we're going to try the same side hand. So your left, your right, your left, whatever. Flip the hand up. If this kind of look at your palm.
Yeah, I feel it.
Oh, you want to do it to me?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
gonna let you feel it. So I'm gonna, my palm's in the sky.
Rotate up this way.
I reach underneath and grab her thumb.
Underneath.
Pull my hand out.
Yeah, you're going to grab.
And go across the leg.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then twist her out again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn your palm up.
Turn this hand out.
Reach out with the other hand.
Set it up like that.
Turn my thumb like that.
Right, this way.
Break your finger out, your hand out. You want on this part, that's actually your muscle. On my muscle.
Yes.
Pull it out. Right. So your thumbs together and continue the twist. Body straight.
Yes.
Go ahead, you locked.
So this is your same principle about keeping those elbows down and in. They really help with this here.
Sink and relax.
Yes, actually, it's very simple. Just give me this and it's just going back.
Slow down, I'll tell you when I start feeling, just do it. Rotation. Yeah, right there is where I start to feel it. So if you click, there you go.
There you go. Relax.
Yeah.
And stay
From like up here or
Just
whatever.
rotate.
Yeah, your arms are better now, I feel
Yeah,
it
if
right
you-
now.
If you hold the tension up here, it's not gonna be where you want it down here. You need to
Yeah,
relax.
it's that same like the ball of energy.
I mean, it does, but like, you kind of.
Yeah, take them tight. Yeah, just kind of see how that works for you. Yeah.
We did something different
I'm
than
very
I
calm,
felt
but
on
these
anyone
should
else.
be
I
under
felt like you
Yeah, you got it.
applied more pressure.
Uh,
I probably, because I'm used to going like that.
thumb.
Yeah, actually, we
you
went
don't
forward, we found that you don't like
no,
to do
you
exactly
just
right.
right.
You just keep going around.
So come across on the other side.
I think you lifted too much.
Too much.
So
So give them
just
feedback.
under and then like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Right there.
there.
Then, I want you to take a step, to step that leg, don't step towards this hand, step away from it, and twist it that way.
But using is flexible.
Oh, because that, yeah.
Right.
Then you got your wall.
So, you can imagine if you continue that, even if you take a knee down, you can take it down.
Devastation for it.
All right, so if I come this way, I want to
Yeah,
step
that was
around
quick
to the
to
side.
follow.
Yeah.
Continue that
This
rotation.
point or somewhere in here.
Go back to that.
So once I
So,
see I step
you
in,
there.
then I'm going to rotate
Rotate that way.
this way.
Right. Think about that. Put your same side hand to block. Yep. And slide all the way down. Yep.
It's not a pushing, it's actually
Rotating.
rolling.
So throw a clutch at me.
Yeah.
This is easy for me. I felt it. Because your wrist is like a knob.
It's actually
So I can just slide down
easier
your
to
arm.
see. Grab it.
Yeah, that's clear. Right. That may not be a prize. You do shuffle steps.
You can rotate. If you do, you have to keep the pressure on this.
So this is your block.
What are we doing wrong?
I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah,
Right there, that's the point where you have control. Or right there, no control. Yeah, there. You go out like that.
So we went into punch.
Right there now.
So I take punch this.
Something there right now.
Grab, feel the button. Finish this.
There it is.
Rotate it back then.
Yeah, this one looks good because it's like, it's going good.
Good, that was nice.
Yeah, like that.
You can let me go.
Yeah, so now like you go, you're tapping, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you one more.
So you see what he was doing?
Your thumb winds up in the back.
So you punch in. So he's saying coming around here first and sliding down to grab.
I'm just not, I'm fitting your hand, they have a security. Because if you're in my wrist, I don't get paid. If you're in my hand, I get paid, so I start twisting.
Okay.
Yeah. Just keep your shoulder up. I mean, it's not up, but your body's.
Yeah, if they have a
Because you
knife
have,
or something, maybe you can't do like this, but if you punch in and
And
do
what I
that, and then grab
do,
here.
you don't push, and you roll.
I want to parry this, I don't want to be in front of it. So I'm stepping to the same side, I'm brushing it. My hand slides down his arm until I get to the knob, over where to grab. And if I step out, I can toss it. Another thing we're talking about is just the direction you're going. If I'm going this way, I can turn all day, his arm's not going anywhere. And you can do this to yourself, like I say, do it to yourself. Your hand, you can twist it inward quite a bit. You can only go to the sky when you turn it out. Your shoulder starts to dip. So that's the chain of locking. I can lock every joint. And you'll hear people talk about the chain. This is the end of the three joint. This one moves, these two gotta move. Okay? And that controls your body. Once that shoulder goes, you got his whole body. So I can do, say I don't have his arm, if I move his elbow, his shoulder still dips. Okay? I do something to his shoulder, his elbow and his hand don't have to move, and he's still doing this all day long.
Yeah, good. Another thing too, Mike and I were talking about was using your listening skills and your sensitivity while you're doing these. So when you remain relaxed, you can still listen to what the person's doing. So yeah, he punches in. So if I come here, I may not have him. He could go ahead and get out of it. So he goes out, I follow. I listen to where he's going and follow. So just because he starts to neutralize, which we'll do it a little bit, and we'll let each other neutralize so that we can learn it. But in actual application, somebody's starting to neutralize. If you're relaxed, you can sense where they're going and just follow that energy. You adjust, so it's constantly adjusting. We want to do a lock flow too later, two-man partner drill, where we're just kind of exchanging locks, flowing from one to another, so that you start to feel different things of that. One of the things we want to look at is pressure points on the hand. So as we're doing these wrist locks, a couple of these are exposed. One of them is, we were talking about that. So these abbreviations are meridians. This is a list of the meridians. Everybody familiar with meridians? Those are the lines of energy that flow through your body. So we all know about chi. You can think of it as bioelectrical energy, whatever you want to think of. It's a mixture of air, things like that. But the energy flows in certain directions and through certain meridians. So there's 3 that go down the back of the arm and 3 that come down other way. They come down from this way and they come up this way. So the triple warmer 3-point is back in the hand in the pinky and the ring finger area. So that's the one we had you press on earlier. So when you're doing your joint lines, if you can press in there, and I'm just going to tell you the direction of this you want to press is going up and in. So you want to go towards going in as you press in. Now that should create a pain effect in that flow of energy, as well as adding. It weakens the grip, weakens the hand. It helps you to make the chin out more effective. So if I'm coming this way and I'm pressing this way, so you can see the results we create. And as I could have been really mean there, but I'm not gonna do it. So as you see, he started to pull in and neutralize, and I could have followed it and taken him all the way down. So let's find it on yourself first. Everybody feel that? Pressing. So it's about midway between the. Well, this is your L8 or your lung meridian. So the lung meridian comes down this way, and this is one you can do like when he grabs me here, and I come in, I can just grab that and rotate it in. And so this one, energy going towards, coming down, so towards yourself, pulling it in that way.
Is it a stace or is it like on the bone or?
It's between the bone, it's where you would take your pulse, like right around there, so if I pull that hand up.
That is your superpower.
I'm doing that. So we're going to go to another wrist lock. Well, before we do, I want to say something about that rotation of the arm. So we just let's see. So we were doing this rotation, and just keep in mind that it doesn't have to be on the wrist, like Steven said. It could be that you come through the elbow, use the same rotation, or it could be one hand rotating. So a lot of things can come out of just that rotation wrist lock.
Well, I had a question about that real quick.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like when you were grabbing his arm, it was like his wrist was like straight here. What about like that idea of like you could bring the wrist in like this direction? Does that make it more effective
And I
or
can
not?
hit that, and I can hit that pressure point too that we were talking about in here.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Tap, man.
Yeah, man.
Same side of wrist. Whatever way you like to avoid his hand, I'm just gonna do what we call brush traps. By brush trap, I brushed it and then I trapped his hand. And this is like one of these, I know you guys have worked with Chris, do it a lot. Then you just, I'm pushing his elbow down that helps secure, act like a base. I'm compressing his wrist down. This is that second stretch that we did. My fingers are, I want to remove my thumb from inside his wrist because that protects him. If I can capture his hand like that, I'm going to move to his side so I'm away from that other weapon. So if I bring it into me, you can see, maybe I'll turn it around. Either securing his, I'm basing his elbow on my body or inside my elbow. So I can have control over him. And
This really hurts.
He knows
You may not be able to tell.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did too.
I like to stay relaxed, even though it
But
hurts.
when we're doing the stretch exercise, so you knew how much you could stand. So,
So-
I did that.
If you hold his elbow against your body, can he elbow you there, or?
No.
Okay.
Any tension I create or try to do, yeah, so what I need to do is relax. I need to,
But you asked a good question, that's why I don't wanna do it out here,
Right.
because now we can't,
yeah.
and it frees up that pain. So I'm here, and this outside I wanna be behind it.
So we talked a little bit, stay here, Steve. So we talked a little bit about grabbing the muscles, dividing the muscles. So do the one you like where you come. So yeah, so here, this, everybody knows where this is, right? We don't have to really show it, I don't think. So he presses in here while he's got me locked here. Okay. Yeah, he can also grab this muscle with a nice.
And Chris talked about, you know, your ceiling
Sit
the
on
breath.
the breath.
And I'm also have a hand across his carotid artery there. This is head breath.
Everybody hear that crack? Keep it light. So later on, as we talk about escapes and counters, like in real life. So against all this pain, I need to go here and side myself and once I relax, I can feel different exit strategies appear. I need to listen to the energy, where's it going? And I always have to use my dantian. So one way I could go is I could come on this way. Then that will happen, right? Again. Another way, so I'm kind of over the end here. So if I relax, I really watch my stomach. Rotate, now I'm out. But you have to relax. At any tension, you're gonna feel it right here. If he feels you even trying to muscle it, it's gonna kill you, it's gonna crank you. And it's not so much of sinking physically low, it's being sunk, just relaxing.
If you were to follow you down there, could you escape?
Yeah, always change it because nobody's gonna stand there, right? So you always have to. Do what here. Did you do crescent here when you did your?
I want to get this thumb out of here. Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
You feel like you got any?
Right, but I thought I saw your hand come through.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Because I like, yeah, like if I try to do that,
Press inside
that's
there.
hurt. Yeah, that's definitely whoa. Yeah.
That'll help collapse the arm.
Oh, see,
Which is really the other way, which works very well.
So that's, yeah, that's like 20.
Here is it.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a point there too. Oh yeah, nice.
Yes.
Why don't one of you get were on the side of Nick and the other one on the side of me, so that you can do it at the same time.
So yeah, it kind of loses its keep it in your bicep if you can't keep it against your chest.
So, like, okay, I'm
What prevents you from
with
just
my right hand.
walking away from me that way?
Slide it down. Okay. So the left hand on the back
You
of the
gotta
right
keep it
hand.
light. So we're talking about relaxing the front.
And he's collapsing it down. Keep your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I just change a slight change of angle.
One more time, catch his hand. So what Steve was doing, talking about too, is collecting, pressing it there to help bending. Suppose he's really stiff, you're stiff. Yeah, I can't, I want to press him there. Don't let it bend. Press in. I want to keep this here. If I feel it coming out there, then I'll come across top. I want to keep it in.
Yeah.
Body.
Move towards her back. That protects you and helps you also.
Hopefully, pass. Yeah, keep it on the wrist right here. Tuck in. And so be careful of this, because I can reverse it if I come bring my elbow back.
Just so Mike can do it.
And you can grab two hands.
Why don't you guys do it at the same time Chris is doing it? That helps you have a.
Yeah, twist it down more, down into the action.
Right there.
But watch out the bottom. Come up. Put either against the bicep or against the chest.
Best way to get that motion at first, because I feel like you're
So here.
I still feel like there's a lot of effort, a lot of strength,
Right.
not enough lock.
Right.
I don't worry about twisting so much as
But without throwing
bringing
it
my
my way.
fingers towards my palm. or
Now, I just go
forearm.
to my.
Oh,
Yeah, that's much better.
There, okay.
Now, I'm actually pretty much where I'm gonna be. This hand behind your elbow. So you keep your elbow.
So watch out, he has no support under here, and drop his elbow down. You want to put it either against your chest and lock it in your arm.
So just try
You have to
that.
rotate, you keep it there.
Okay, you do shuffle.
You can rotate, but if you do, you have to keep the pressure on this
That's like,
elbow here.
this is your block.
What are we doing wrong?
Mainly me.
Yeah, right there is like the point where now you have the control, and then if you did a little bit more, now.
So this may be a good time for, much of your fingertips as possible on top of the hand.
Okay.
Then you just have more force. If you put your thumb on the back, you don't, if your thumb's there, it's just right.
Oh, okay. Let me just feel this. So this is all on top. You get like this, and then it doesn't take. And then the elbow, I feel against my rib cage here. So right there.
So, like I say, very few people can go past there. When you start going like that,
That's when the pain starts.
Right,
It really,
right there.
it really starts in that structure.
Yeah, you go like this.
Yeah, if you go punching again.
Okay, yeah.
So back up a little bit, I want you to back up.
Right.
Come in, here, down, forward. I got a 915 on So the angle, this angle,
Mhm.
keep going, take it back. So I'm not really trapped here. More of a rotating here. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, okay. All right. This floor's dirty. All right. Yeah, kick back on.
Let me just feel this.
So I'm not sure I
So
understood
this
it.
is all on top. This.
So I'm pushing here.
And the elbow, I feel against my rib cage.
Okay. And then,
You
so
come back this
already
more.
twisting.
So now you, now go under the arm.
Less energy.
Yeah, you do it here, this is, I mean, can you do anything with your left hand?
Okay.
So do it, here's an idea,
Break that, bring them.
yeah, but I was thinking.
That's one of the things I like to do.
You know?
I do a rolling without
Okay.
though.
Oh,
So punch out.
She can.
Okay, so if you just do it with a lane,
So this is like around here.
One of them was, can you come down? So I punched and he had brought me down.
But, what if you, yeah, that wasn't quite there. We tried it from 2D.
Mhm.
That works, I don't think there's any,
That's a good one, actually. You should do that, that's awesome.
and
Yeah.
that's,
I know you can get that. Even
so
better.
that's probably one of your,
My second
Technique
roll.
roll.
Right?
Yeah.
And you the elbow
I,
like this.
probably,
So what?
probably your one-
I think you want.
Yeah, a lot of different
Different, so-
rotations there. So the way I was doing it was rolling the bones over. So like punches over. So when I catch here, I start here
That's
and
what we
I
did in
roll.
my class. Yes, that's what we did in my class very well.
I did this right there.
Rolling on all one.
Forward, connecting, and let's take them down. Let's rotate and down across the elbow. Or else, right? So you can down to the end and turn the arm at the same time. So watch as I do it.
As just pushing it.
I would
Right,
prefer
right.
more forearm, right behind.
My arm is acting like a.
The low, this is that.
Yeah, try and turn this way.
Like if I go like
Yeah,
this.
watch as I press this up here.
But there,
So one thing I want to make sure is I cross this area, either right behind it or on
Yep, perfect.
yeah, now you have it, now you have it, now just, you know, just work on the sensitivity of getting that.
So this is a picture of, these are legs. I have to explain it because, you know, I kind of rushed this. I am a good artist, but I rushed this. And this is, this dotted line is the quad, right? That's this right here. So let's all kind of stand like this. So the arrow down means you're pushing your foot into the ground. You're pushing your heel into the ground. And because the earth won't move, the opposite reaction travels through the body. So you allow it to pass through the joints and turn the body. So that is what we call sun chant. So this is a spiraling up the leg and out through the extremity. Okay? So just go ahead and feel that, pushing the heel in, just let it turn. And then do the other way, push the other heel in, let it turn the dantian. So as you do that, one quad closes and the other one opens, and you just rotate. So that's a part of our super and the basics. Then we just add an arm to it. So just let the arm go for the ride. Just let it turn and relax. So there's no tension. So this is how we want to power all our techniques from the legs and the stomach. So that's a yang energy, going out and away as a yang energy. But when I come here, it becomes a yin energy. Now, I'm spiraling in. So that would be called, well, it's called Ni-chan is a yin energy. Sun-chan is yang energy. So borrow you for just a second. So let's say you're punching and I connect here, right? So this is like my ward off or something. Chin and yang and whoever else should have ward off. So if I spiral out, you can feel that coming into him. As I rotate in, that's the niche. I'm spiraling into the ground now. I'm turning and the energy is going into that foot. But I may have the yin energy in this leg, but there's yang in this leg. So yin and yang always go together, right?
It definitely felt like that too. It was just like an emptiness dragging me into it.
Right, and you didn't feel me pull at all, right?
No.
I just rotate.
Right.
So that's a little bit of, so what did I do? I did a roll back. We were just doing the roll backs, right? This time I did the outside, the arm punches in. So once I connect here, I'm just gonna close the quad and rotate. So it's just a relaxed turning of the stomach. Okay. So we're gonna do a little bit more roll back. I'm thinking showing the roll back and then going into the stepping and the circling. So the circling, that drill, passing, and then going into the stepping, and then I lead into the locks here.
Okay.
Okay.
What about the quad? Like you're opening it up?
Oh,
like this?
quad should be open.
Quad's open.
Always, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so does that mean you push your knees out, or is it more like the
More
upper
up top.
thighs?
More
Right.
up top.
Okay.
Yeah. So the knees are a side effect of opening here. So don't intentionally push the knees out.
Gotcha.
Open here, and it'll just happen. So when I push here, see how it just closes. So before we were doing this, if I turn here, so this closes in. I come here, closes out. So one of the drills we were doing, I don't want to spend time on the drill. Maybe I'll record it for the video, and then we can practice it later. You can practice on somebody. Find somebody, the heaviest dude you know, and say, hey, can I pull you? All right. So, all right, I need to open. All right, let's. I'm gonna pull Steve. Oh, I'll pull Mike or something.
Yeah, Mike's kidding.
Mike, I'm not saying your head.
Hey, yeah, I'm saying we got lunch.
All right, so this is one things we do in class. Hands are still a little cold, right? So I'm not going to, yeah, please, I want you to root. Don't let me pull you, okay? So I'm not going to pull with the arms. I'm going to close the quad and use Dantian, right? So, but I have to be substantial. He has to feel that I'm there, and then just rotate. Yeah, root a little more. Even resist. Don't pull away from me if you want.
Actually, what I noted there, as soon as you joint locked, I lost my grip.
Yeah,
It was kinda-
okay, yeah, so stay into the ground, and I just turn. So if he doesn't move, I don't move. So I'm not doing this. I'll just relax. And I don't want to turn this without this turn. So they're connected. If he's too strong for me to move him with my Dantian, then nothing moves. But everything is connected. I'm building that pathway by feeling from the foot through my center out to the hand. Nothing moves. So I just try harder. Sink, rotate. So everything, can you see everything has to turn together? So that's the basis of keeping everything connected. So when we do that roll back, he punches in, and up here, I just rotate. So I felt you were still locked. She kind of let you go on that one.
Okay.
And work on the neutralized part.
And we do this
Yeah.
one slowly.
So with your hand or when your foot
But see, I'm
arrives,
like-
you should
You're
already be
wasting a lot of energy,
rolling.
like, if I'm pushing this way,
Yeah.
you're like forcing against that way, just like straight, foot, right through this way. See, like if I was gonna resist you like this, that's gonna be wasting energy, but when I just go ahead and roll back straight through,